Hi everyone, this is Stephen Akins. Thanks for watching my video. I just wanted to give you a brief overview of what my class looks like so far for the instructional design project. And it isn't anywhere close to being complete, but I did want to show y'all some of the things that I'm going to use. So the online course system that we're going to use for my project is for the 9th grade students. It's called Schoology. If you go to Schoology.com, and you can create a free account. This is just a place where you can have online classes, and this is what I use in my actual classroom. And you can see that I have my classes set up here, and here is the one for our project. Alright, so the first thing that happens when you click on this course is you see all of the materials kind of in the folder form. Schoology is a lot like Edmodo, and it's almost, it's a lot like Moodle in the same way. So it's kind of a blend of Edmodo and Moodle, and I really like it. I've learned about it through one of my other classes at AUM. But this is a good way for my students to go through this, and these are 9th grade students, so they do need something that's a little bit easier to work, but they are pretty tech savvy. So if we look at the introduction, I have everything set up in the order that they will actually go through. Here's week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and week 5. So this is how it's shaping out. I may change this, I'm not sure. But if you look at the introduction, this is going to be the first thing they click on. And this will be where I do some text and I introduce them to the class, but I'll also have an introduction video here. So if we go back, the next thing they will do is they will complete the pretest, and I've given them instructions here on what to do. They're going to click on this pretest, they're going to answer the questions on a separate document, and then they're going to turn that back into me on that assignment. So this is what the pretest looks like so far. This is still a rough draft. I'm still thinking about questions that I need to ask for the pretest. Okay, so that's part of the introduction, so let's go back. And I also wanted to include something where my students could introduce themselves to the rest of the class, and they could see their classmates through a video. So I'm going to post something called a Padlet wall. It's P-A-L-E-T, Padlet, and it's kind of like a discussion board, and you can organize it in different ways. And I thought that would be a unique way for the students to introduce themselves. What they would do is they would add like a sticky to the wall, and they would create a video introduction of themselves, kind of like what I would do for this class. Alright, so that would be the first week, getting the pretest. I would look through the pretest, see if the students have misconceptions about DNA, RNA, or protein synthesis, and see what they know and what they don't know. From that assessment and that feedback that I get, I will maybe need to change up my next week too. There's nothing in this folder yet. I am going to do checklists at the beginning of each of these folders for each week. I really like how that's organized in our class, and I think that would be great for 9th grade students to have a checklist and actually check themselves off on what they need to do for that week. So for this project, the students are going to be creating a video to model DNA, RNA, and protein synthesis. So what I did is I broke it down into 3 different weeks. That way students can work on this part of their model this week, this part of their model this week, and this part of their model that week. In the final week, they'll bring it all together and make one big video of DNA, RNA, and protein synthesis. All these things are connected, so that's the reason we're going to bring it all together at the very end in week 5. So if you look at the very end, I have a checklist and also the final project rubric. So the students will actually submit their final projects here. So if you want to take a look at the rubric, this is what it looks like. I'm probably going to change up some of this, but again, this is my rough draft. I'm really not sure how many points I need to add for this yet, but I'm giving them points for introduction, explanation of DNA synthesis, RNA synthesis, and protein synthesis, and they have to have an introduction and a closing statement to their video. So that's what that is showing. So that's the rough draft for that. Okay. Alright, so I will go back to my materials. And for each of these, I am going to have them create a short assignment that is reflective on what was talked about in each of these. Also, in each of these folders, I will have an instructional video that overviews what DNA synthesis is and what the students need to know about DNA synthesis. So there will be instructional videos for each of these folders also. Alright, so I think that's all I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, I did want to show you one more thing. So here are my video scripts. What I did is I outlined what I was going to talk about in each video. I'm going to have a video for the instructional folder, the DNA synthesis, RNA synthesis, protein synthesis in the final week. These are the things I'm going to talk about. And also I wanted to show you my course management information. I haven't got all of my things together, but I've linked that pre-test here, so I will give you a link to all my stuff so you can check it out and give me comments and feedback on what you think I should do. But here's a link that goes directly to that pre-test that I showed you. Here I've made myself some notes on what I wanted else to include in this document, the course management information. All these are very similar, and at the end I've attached my rubric as a link also. Alright, so I think that's all we had to have for this week. If you have any questions about what I'm doing or you have any comments, just please let me know and I will be glad to talk with you. Thanks.